Well, they got some power arms. I know that. They've got three power arms that they'll run out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they're physical. They're a physical lineup. They're very offensive, so they're gonna swing the bats. Now, I would say they're probably a little bit more of a power-oriented offense overall, but they're an improved team. They've got a good team. So we've got a tough test ahead of us. We all know that, and we'll start preparing for them tomorrow. Big picture, I feel like we're pitching really well, through 8 games. And, lineup-wise, we got to be better. Offensively, we got to be better. But, my guys know that. I don't need to tell them that. They know we need to be better. I think, big thing is we just got to relax and compete. I think, some of our guys are putting a little bit too much pressure on themselves. There's the guys are probably trying a little bit too hard, just because they're so aware, that we haven't been scoring enough runs for our pitching staff. But it's just one of those things we'll talk about tomorrow. We just got to compete, relax and compete. And, but big picture wise, we're sitting at 7-1 through 8 games. I think it's too early to tell, who we are or what we are. And I think our guys probably understand that too. But the bottom line is we got to keep getting better, keep working hard. And we'll be excited about the opportunity to play again come Friday. Well, it's great to play in a series like this. There's no doubt about that, and we know what it's going to be like on Friday night. In Founders Park, it's going to be about as competitive of an environment as the guys can play in. But that's why they chose to come to Clemson. You come to Clemson to play in the greatest rivalry in college baseball and play in big time series against big time opponents. So hopefully they'll embrace it because this is what it's all about. Well, I think it's going to be a little bit easier, from a travel standpoint for our guys because we go down on Thursday night and we stay in the same hotel for 2 nights and then we come back. So, from that standpoint, you get to stay in the same city for 2 nights as opposed to one and one where, you travel down, you play in Columbia, we bus to Greenville, stay in Greenville, play, and, come back to Clemson. So it'll be a little bit easier from a travel standpoint for us because we'll stay in the same hotel on Thursday night and Friday night, and then we'll come back after the game on Saturday and sleep in our own beds. So, from that standpoint, travel-wise, it'll be a little bit easier for our guys.
Yeah, obviously, I guess it'll be more like a road game over 2 days instead of home neutral and away.
It is what it is. The neutral site game is in Columbia at the Pro Park. We're the home team in that game. It's a neutral game. It's a neutral park. We're not playing at Founders Park. We're not playing at Doug Kingsmore. It's to me, it's just we've played in that stadium before. So we've been in that ballpark. It's a big ballpark. It's the neutral site game, and, we're going to play the game where it is, and we're excited about playing it.
You've got a lot of young guys on this team. You think they'll understand and be prepared for the rivalry and intensity that comes with this kind of series?
Well, I think so. I hope so. We've got some older guys here who have played in it, so I think they're aware of it and understand it. And we got a lot of kids from the state of South Carolina that are on our roster, so I think they know, what the rivalry is all about.
With the team's not ranked this year, it's a little different than maybe you've been around for a long time. Both programs are kind of at their peak, Omaha regularly.
Do you think that the fact that both teams are unranked, that it's going to change the way the two teams compete in the series? Really? Do you really think that being ranked or not being ranked is going to change how both teams approach this series at all? Absolutely not. Both teams are going to come. They know what the rivalry is all about, and they know what this series is all about. And both teams are going to be ready to go regardless if they're ranked or not. That's irrelevant in terms of how, these two teams are going to compete going into the weekend.
How much input did you get to have in the conversations when they talked about putting that second game in Columbia?
Well, it was, obviously, our administration, their administration. I certainly had some conversations about it and went back and forth, and and ultimately, there were a lot of different scenarios that were brought to the table, and ultimately, this is the one that we settled on, that we would alternate the neutral game from Columbia to Greenville and Columbia to Greenville.
I said no pitching changes in terms of this weekend.
We wouldn't anticipate any pitching changes.
Thank you, coaches.
Yep.